Meanwhile, what is going to happen, at least tomorrow, is a runoff race in the state of Alabama that pits the state's incumbent senator against former state Supreme Court Judge Roy Moore. And that is maybe a real test for the President of the United States. He has gone ahead and supported Senator Strange. Of course, that was a named replacement after Jeff Sessions, the Alabama senator, became the Attorney General of the United States. But virtually all other firebrands, if you will, including Steve Bannon, Sarah Palin, have been rallying around Judge Moore. And it is Judge Moore who has big leads, depending on the polls, over Senator Strange. Washington Examiner White House correspondent Sarah Westwood on what's at stake if Senator Strange loses. What do you make of that possibility, and then what it would say about the president?
It's a very real possibility that Senator Strange could lose. The average of polls has him about 10 points back behind Judge Moore. President Trump seems to have endorsed Strange from a place of loyalty to Strange, who has been personally loyal to Trump, particularly on health care. That endorsement doesn't seem to have been out of support for or solidarity with Mitch McConnell, who also backs Strange. And Mitch McConnell is fairly toxic in Alabama. So in a lot of ways, McConnell's support for Strange is almost canceling out whatever boost Strange might have otherwise gotten.
I'm sorry, sir. These polls that you allude to, are any of them post the president's visit last Friday night?
Well, there's obviously, this is an average of polls, right?
Okay.
So it's an average. There's not necessarily.
Oops. We just lost her there. The reason why I mentioned that is because I have seen these same polls, and I think you're back with us, Sarah, but some of the polls have shown, again, this 9-10 point difference, but I was curious whether that average included the president's visit to the state and a fiery red meat speech at that to friendly crowds. What do you think?
Well, obviously, President Trump going down there personally could move some votes a little bit, but there are a lot of Trump voters who seem to be fine breaking with the president on this. And you saw in this rally that Sarah Palin, Sebastian Gorka, former aide of the president, attended over the weekend. What they did is an argument that a lot of more voters and Trump voters have clung to, which is that President Trump has just gotten bad advice on endorsing Strange. And Trump himself sort of alluded to this in his rally down there on Friday when he said, "I might have made a mistake endorsing Strange. I'll be back to here, campaign for more."
Yeah, that was a weird one. But is it your thought that the president might not lose on this, and that it is likely that whoever wins is going to win the general election? It's not a guarantee or a lock, but Alabama being Alabama and the president swamping a 2-1 victory there last year, that it would be the conservatives' race to lose.
Right, and Trump sort of acknowledged this in his speech, saying if Luther Strange were to lose, the media is going to characterize this as a sign that my clout is deteriorating. But if you look at Roy Moore, he's appealing to Alabama voters for all the same reasons why Trump appealed to them, because he's running as an outsider, because he's characterizing his opponents as these tools of the establishment. So Trump voters are sort of proving that what attracted them to Trump in the first place is still attractive to them, this insurgency, this disruptive candidate. And so in a way, it does show that President Trump and the ideals that he stands for are still appealing to Alabama voters.